Aloha everyone. In this video we're going to go over a topic that I do get asked about a lot from my military families or clients from the mainland, and that is, do locals really hate newcomers? So I'm just gonna riff a little bit about what I think makes me well qualified to talk about this subject, and that is, my background is that I was born in Florida. I lived on the mainland. My dad is from Hawaii, Hawaiian guy, but my mom is from a deep southern Florida family. And so I grew up kind of in two worlds. Like, there were a few brown people and then there were a lot of not brown people. I started coming to Hawaii when I was 9 years old, and then I got off the plane and people are wearing slippers and surf shorts and they talk different. Hey, how's it? Aloha. Oh, hey, how's it, bro? Hey, how's it? You doing good? Everyone's cool. Everyone's waving hi. They look like me. It was pretty cool. So when I was a kid, I come to Hawaii, and after a few visits, I actually stayed. So I stayed here with my father, but I didn't sound like how I talk right now, like, you know, like a Hawaiian accent. No, I didn't sound like that, right? When I started school here, intermediate school, which is what they call, you know, middle schools here that only have 7th and 8th grade. So when I started intermediate school here in Hawaii, I still had a southern accent from Florida. One of the girls that I ended up being good friends with throughout high school, I remember her teasing me when I first came to Hawaii. She's like, "Oh, brah, you look like us, but you talk funny. Where are you from?" And so they used to, you know, tease me a little bit. But after a few months, and by the time, you know, a year had gone by, everyone forgot I was from the mainland and I sounded like them. You may not look like you're from here, so are you going to have problems with local people? It's just like anywhere. There's different levels of education and socioeconomic status and maybe generational pain from poverty after past events. In 1893, the Hawaiian kingdom began to get overthrown. And so there's still some lasting effects from that time period. Additionally, in the 1800s, we had tons of plantation. There were first generation from Japan, China, Philippines. Believe it or not, we have a Puerto Rican community here in Hawaii, Portuguese community. With all of these cultures combined, we have a really unique culture here in Hawaii. One of the things I said in my last video was that we're not only geographically halfway to the east, but we're kind of culturally halfway to the east. So my tip for you is, if you were to go to Japan, you wouldn't expect to bring your Boston or Texas or California habits and culture with you. You would assimilate. Whether it be for your 2 weeks or your 2 years, you would assimilate to their culture. Bring that same attitude here to Hawaii. And as long as you show respect, I tend to find that people have a good experience and they enjoy paradise. So when you're coming to Hawaii, just remember that it's a unique culture and people are different. Japanese, Filipino, Hawaiian, Portuguese, and the mom is from Texas. That's a common thing here, and they have different customs. You know, it's not normal to stare here. So you may be curious and you're looking at someone, do I know you? But that may offend them. Don't drive aggressively here in Hawaii. We have a deep culture of respect. If you just overtake someone and zoom past them on the road, that can be seen as a real sign of disrespect. If someone lets you in traffic, make sure you acknowledge it and say thank you. Chances are they're gonna say thank you back. You know, basically say they're happy to do it. Do locals dislike newcomers? I don't think so. As with everywhere, there's different levels of education, different levels of socioeconomic status. You're gonna get a different experience depending on where you are on the island and what kind of people you surround yourself with. But I can tell you this, I have family on the west side of this island who, there's several people that live in the house. They don't have a ton of money, but I can tell you, if you were hungry and you were outside and you were their neighbor, they'd feed you from their plate. They give you food even though they don't know when the next paycheck's coming. We also have a thing called Aloha, and I suggest you get to know what Aloha means, and I'll try to help get you started. Aloha is a unique version of maybe Southern hospitality, but it means more than that. Aloha means love, Aloha means respect, Aloha means gratitude. It means all things positive. So if you come to Hawaii and you begin to learn and respect the culture here, even adopt some of the things that we do here, such as in Hawaii, you take your shoes off in the house. And if you don't take your shoes off before you go into the house, that could be seen as a sign of disrespect. So there are nuances to this culture, long and short. I do not think that local people hate or dislike people from the mainland. I think that there is some history where that paradigm exists, But anytime that I've seen someone from the mainland show respect and show gratitude, show aloha, they tend to do okay. And are you gonna have some bad apples anywhere you go? Yeah, I've experienced it from my time being stationed in Florida and Virginia and California. Things can happen anywhere, but on average, if you're respectful, you learn what aloha means and you learn how to act with aloha and give aloha, then I think you're gonna love Hawaii.